A lot of us woke up in the 70s and 80s with superheroes and cartoon characters telling us good morning, thanks to the Janex company. Let's take a look. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. Can you believe it's the Junkman coming back at you with the third video of the day? That's right, 3 videos a day. One at noon time for the Junkman Nooner, and then at 5 o'clock we have a YouTube short that's called a Junkman Quickie, and then we got the 8 o'clock regular video. I don't know, it's just called the Junkman video. Today we're gonna look at Janex Corporation, Janex, Janex Corporation. They didn't, I don't know if you can classify, well, some of these you probably can classify as toys. A lot of these were just things to get you going in the morning or to teach you good habits. Like talking alarm clocks. That's right, we're going to look at some alarm clocks in the 70s and 80s that would wake you up and get you ready for your school day. And then once you're up and you head to the bathroom, you got stuff to talk to you in there with talking toothbrush. That's right, if you had parents that didn't want to talk to you, they bought you a talking alarm clock. They bought you a talking toothbrush. They bought you any kind of toy that would talk to you so they wouldn't have to interact with you. Hey, it was the 70s and 80s. We were latchy kids. Parents didn't want anything to do with us, and we didn't want to have anything to do with them. So let's take a look at some of these toys. We got some really cool ones, we got some really oddball ones, and then we got some really strange ones, I guess you could say. So let's just start off with looking at some of the more common stuff. And this here is a projector that you could put your ViewMaster slides into, or it's not a slide, ViewMaster reel. You drop them in here and you can show your ViewMasters on the screen in your room. I didn't know about this. I would have loved this as a kid. It was a lot of fun looking through the ViewMaster. I didn't know until like the 90s that you supposed to open both eyes so it's in 3D. I didn't know that as a kid. I would always close one eye and look through it. Click, 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 click. Old George Jefferson, you're so funny. It was a lot of fun. But this one here, you put it in and you can show it on the wall. I could watch any ViewMaster I wanted to, except for Star Wars, because they didn't do any Star Wars ViewMasters. Well, that's not counting Attack of the Clones. We're talking 70s, 80s. I don't know. Star Wars never got on the ViewMaster thing. Would have been perfect for it. It would have been crazy to have. But let's take a look at this. The Flash Bright. Turn the handle to make a light. Show the pictures. You can even tell a story. It's kid power, so it doesn't need batteries. You just need your kid to wind it the whole time while you look at ViewMasters. It says put on the best show in town, and I'll have to agree on that. It looks like it might be the best show in town. Now, sadly, one thing this company did make was things related to Raggedy Andy and Andy. I don't think there's anything worse in this world than Raggedy Andy and Andy. It's not much. If I did a top 5 of the worst things ever, it would be within the top 2. Raggedy Andy, I hate looking at it. I hate saying the names. I hate everything about it. I'm surprised they haven't done a live action movie reboot of Raggedy Andy and Andy. Let's pray that they don't. But let's get these 2 toys out of the way. You have a stapler, that's Raggedy Ann. Put your papers in there, push down on Raggedy Ann's desk, and she staples the paper. And you have a talking toothbrush holder right here. Raggedy Ann toothbrush. Where's Andy? I don't know. I don't see any Andy toys. But let's go on. I can't look at this god-awful garbage anymore. Now, kid, in the 80s, we loved aliens. And there was no alien we loved more in the 80s than the one that came from Melmac, Alf. And that's right. They made a lot of different Alf things, including a talking toothbrush, a talking alarm clock. And we're going to look at some of the Alf stuff that they made. Brushing your teeth is no problem when you have a talking Alf. I don't know what exactly at all it says, but I think it says, oh, you got to use that toothbrush to get that cat hair out of your mouth. You know, Alf will love to eat cats. There was also Alf talking bank, which I don't know what it said, but I think it probably said, Willie, you can put your pocket change in here. I know, these are some very bad Alf impressions. But there was also an Alf talking alarm clock, which probably said, hey, Brian, it's time to wake up. Get dressed. Let's get out of here before that annoying kid Jake from the final season of Alf comes over. You know we were tanking in the 80s when we had to bring that kid on. It's like a Howard Stern Alf impression. Robin. Well, that was some of the Alf stuff. But one thing I loved in the 80s more than Alf was HeMan, a.k.a. Masters of the Universe. And can you believe it? They did different things from Masters of the Universe, like this stuff here. You have the Mighty Fighting Top. It's just a crazy spinning top with a button. Yes, this wasn't your mom and dad's spinning top where you had to use your hand to get the thing spinning. Just push the button and you can watch He-Man or Skeletor spin around in circles all day long. And then there was the talking HeMan toothbrush, which looks pretty cool because it looks like a HeMan action figure on top of this thing. This thing looks awesome. Just push the button on Castle Grayskull to hear it talk. I'm not really sure what he said, but I like to pretend that I do. He probably says something like, "By the power of this toothbrush, I have your plaque." That could have been what he said. He might also said, "Let's kill that stinky Skeletor breath right now." But I know you're saying, yeah, Alf and He-Man, blah, blah, blah. I like to see grown men wearing hardly any clothes roll around on a mat. Well, you could do that while you brush your teeth with WWF Wrestling Toothbrush. Take a look. Not only is it from WWF, it's official, and it's for ages 4 and up. And it comes with 2 soft brushes. And there, right there, is The Undertaker. And they even had one for Hulk Hogan. You had to have Hulk Hogan. He was the biggest thing in wrestling. And what did this one say? "Okay, Hulkamaniacs, time to get that plaque off your teeth." Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. There was also a talking alarm clock. Again, I'm not really sure what he says, but this is what I think or hope he says. "Hey, Hulkamaniac brothers, it's time to get out of that bed. Time to get your school day started. Don't forget to eat your veggies." Maybe that's what he said. I'm not really sure. Now, one of the biggest crazes of the 70s was, of course, a CB. And did you know they made a CB for your watch? Or wrist, I should have said. They made a CB that you could wear. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, I got a smartphone now on my wrist. I got a smartwatch." Well, we had a smart CB. Now, as far as I remember, you couldn't really talk back on this thing. It was a CB scanner where you could hear CB, hear people talking. It was still pretty cool. I never had one, but I had a friend down the road that had one and it wouldn't hardly ever work. But when it did, it was cool because you could hear some adult talk as truckers talked to each other going down the interstate. Ooh, it was risque to say the least. But here's a look at the CB watch scanner. As you can see, it even has a little antenna on it. Pull that out so you can hear really good. And it even comes with a chart so you can know the official CB code. I wonder what the official CB code for "There's a bear in the air" was. Let's say CBs wasn't your thing, but your thing was wanting to draw, but you couldn't draw. You were horrible at drawing. Well, you could trace thanks to Mighty Mouse. The Mighty Mouse Trace Master. Looks like he's about to do something else with that hand. But I'm not going to tell you what it looks like because I don't do blue material here. But put the pencil in his hand and watch Mighty Mouse trace. And talking about all these alarm clocks that talk, can you believe they actually did one from Toys R Us based on the giraffes? I didn't know he had a whole family. We know Jeffrey the giraffe, but did you know he had an entire family? Or at least a mom and a dad? Wait a minute. Jeffrey's the dad and they have a little girl. I don't know. I just know Jeffrey. And here's the talking alarm clock. What do you think this one says? Well, I don't speak giraffe. But if I did, it probably would say something like, "Get your long neck ass out of bed. We got to open up Toys R Us." That's probably what he said. Now, what if you were a fan of Thundercats? I know a lot of you guys watching this video love Thundercats. But don't worry, we're not talking about a Thundercats talking alarm clock or a Thundercats toothbrush. Nope, this is even better. A Thundercats picture play light. Yeah, you know what that means. It's just a redesigned light bright, but they didn't want to get sued. But now you can create action pictures that glow. Again, it's just a light bright, and it comes with a piece of paper you put on top and put the lights around the characters. At least they had a tray to put your little pegs. Couldn't say that about the light bright. Now all these toys would get you hot. They get you so hot you would need a fan, a portable fan at that. And boy, they redid that fan a lot. We have the Adventures of Batman and Robin fan, but don't worry, that fan got recycled. The Mickey Mouse Mini Fun Fan. I doubt it's fun, but it says it is. Or maybe the Looney Tunes were more for you. It had a picture of that damn frog on it. I hated this frog. I just hate any character that does something and then when you try to show it to other people, he doesn't do it. It just really ticks me off when I see that. Now we looked at some silly, crazy, weird stuff. What about cool, fun stuff? Now this was really cool to have in your room. I guess this is mid-70s. It would look really cool if you were really into your schoolwork and you wanted to have your pencils and your stapler and everything all together. This is awesome. Check it out. Batman exclusive set. The Real Thing. It's an odd name for the toy and I don't get the slogan, The Real Thing, but it comes with a Joker with his TNT. You press that down and it staples your paper. If you have to staple your spelling corrections together, there you go. Use the Joker. It has a Batman that shows the date and holds your pencils. That's right, even your number 2 pencils. And if that number 2 pencil isn't sharp enough, you can put it in Batman's cave hole and watch the pencil spin around as it sharpens. Again, this looks really cool. If you're a Batman collector, I think this would be pretty neat to have on your shelf. But let's get back to those toothbrushes that talk. It's Batman and Robin. And I just have one question to ask. Where is Batman's hand? As you can see, he's holding his belt. And Batman, what are you doing with your other hand? What are you doing to Robin? Zing, zap, pow. Man, I don't even want to ask. Well, let's look at the back of it. Yep, just as we thought, he's patting Robin on the bottom. Whew. Batman says to everyone else, Robin is the boy wonder. But to Batman, he wonders no more. I don't even know what that means, but this is a talking toothbrush, and I'm not really sure what it says, but I'm sure it's going to say something cool like, be a good citizen and brush your teeth. And I guess Robin would say, holy tooth decay, that's a lot of plaque. But let's look at the last one, the coolest of it all. And this is for you Silverhawk fans out there. To be honest, I never got into Silverhawks. I didn't even really watch it as a kid. I think maybe I was a little older when it came out. But this looks pretty darn awesome. And I would have liked to have had it as a kid if I was in the Silverhawks and saw this thing. Because even if it wasn't Silverhawks, they just put another name I would have wanted. Check this out. The Talking Command Center. That's right, it's a whole little desk. You got buttons and knobs. I love anything with buttons and knobs. Has like a CB. I don't know exactly what this is, but I got a feeling this thing was released in the 70s. It looks very 70s. A little like they updated it for Silverhawks. Could be wrong. If you know, let me know in the comments below. It even has one disk drive for 3 hard disks. A disk drive, I'm sure it's not like a computer disk drive, but it's the Talking Command Center, and it looks awesome. This is where I do an impression of Silverhawks telling this kid what to do with this toy, but I don't know what the Silverhawks sound like. I don't know what to talk. I don't know the catchphrase or anything, so I didn't do it here. But anyway, Janex, that's some cool stuff. A lot of this you guys you probably haven't seen or you forgot about, so I thought this would be a little fun instead of looking at action figures and take a little look at them. But let me know in the comments below, did you have any of these? Do you think these are weird? Or did you like, man, I didn't know about that, but I wish as a kid I would have had that. It looks pretty awesome. Let me know that. Anything else you want me to know in the comments below. And until the next video, thumbs up on my content, subscribe to the channel. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.